was the fact that, are you doing enough? I'm proud to this now, actually. I'd started something about mentoring, strictly for men, because I believe that if you go online now, if you Google women in capacity development, there's several, from WIMBIs to flourishing women to, but I realized that there was just a major gap for men in the space of personal development and capacity development. In 2018, 17 and 18, I led a team of researchers to do a survey. I think I shared this last week, can't remember. To do a survey about the percentage of people who attended capacity development meetings, capacity building meetings, paid, essentially the paid one. Just wanted to see, what value and premium was placed on capacity development. And we realized that I think about 75 or 80% of capacity development meetings that were paid was attended by women. Only about 20% was attended by men. And that really got me thinking. So that means that technically, women seems to, embrace the place of capacity development much more than men. Okay, so that research triggered again in the desire to want to put this together. But somehow, I mean, we will. So after the ministers' conference, we had, it just occurred to me again to be all that they were designed to be. And so we started last week. I mean, my wife will tell you, once I have a conviction about something, I don't wait for it to be perfect, because perfection is a paradox. So we started last week, and it was an amazing time with with Dr. Harry. Tonight, one of the things okay, so the admin is saying that everyone should please mute their mics so that we don't interfere the session. Thank you, admin. Okay, so one of the things that I learned from Dr. Albert is being prompt. I mean, for those of you that know me, you realize that being prompt is just one of my very core values. If I do, it's probably maybe something out of the blue happens. I always have what I call the 1 hour rule, where I had an extra 1 hour to where I'm going because of the nature of things in Lagos. So that plus or minus, I still get to where I'm going in time. The admin told me that Dr. Albert had been in the room before a lot of us came. So this evening, I was trying to wait for more people, but I think if we're going to keep this rolling consistently, we need to have respect for time. Also, I need to apologize. So there were two conflicting times. So last week when I spoke to Dr. Albert, we agreed for 8 p.m. But when the person designing the flyer designed it, they mistakenly made it 7. I guess I got carried away. I didn't even check it. So I went online to post. Later on, I realized I also said 7. So for those that tried to come in at 7 and you couldn't have access, I sincerely apologize. I've been able to come back to 8 p.m. I want to say a big thank you to you. So without wasting much of our time, I want us to please make welcome tonight my pastor of over 20 years, the CEO of Get Inspired Incorporated, also the presiding minister over Water Blaze Mission International. Would you please just to show a clap of hand at the chat section as I hand over to Dr. Alnisa.
Good to be here, Pastor Tunji. Thanks for all you do for men. It's good to be here. Thank you, admin. It's good to be here. I'm excited. Pastor Tunji, that You're doing more. One of the greatest deceit in life is the deceit I'm doing enough. Enough is never enough. Let me say that again. Enough is never enough. Anytime you believe you're doing enough, you are not doing as much as you should do. There is largest room in the world is the room for improvement. TY, thank you. Good to have you here. Thank you. I want to especially appreciate the ladies that are here to encourage us men. We celebrate you. There is nothing we can do without you. You know, everything about us is still about you ladies. Even Father has are in it, you know. Daughter has are in it. So anything we do in this world, we still need which is the ladies. I jokingly say to my wife that she is the law. You know, I said I have a mother-in-law, I have a father-in-law, I have a brother-in-law, I have a sister-in-law just because my wife is the law. Because if she's not the law, I come have a father-in-law and a mother-in-law. So thank you, Pastor Tunji, for the invite. Thank you for everybody. We can always do more. Never forget that. The largest room in the world is the room for improvement. So we can keep on improving, never get to a point in which you believe, oh, well, I've done enough. There's still room for you to do more. Always put that at the back of your mind. The world is waiting for you to do more of whatever God had called you to do. We are not in competition, we are complementers. So there are things you need to do that will be a blessing to everybody. There are things you need to do that will change the interface of life for many people like it's meant to be. So thank you once again, Pastor. Unfortunately, the problem in the world revolves around men. And like Pastor Tuki said, unfortunately, men are not ready to learn much. Now, let me tell you one of the problems we have in the world today. Law school, in the last few years, the best students in law school have been ladies. The best student in IFE 2 years ago were ladies. The best students in UI in the last 3-4 years have been ladies. One of them, my daughter, Mary Gift. Mary Gift set a record nobody had ever set in the Faculty of Arts. And not only Mary Gift, 2 people actually from our church, Travel Assembly Shabbat Center, scored scores that had never been broken in UI. But they are ladies. It's very interesting right now that even from Oxford University to Harvard University, you've seen a lot of ladies stepping up, a lot of ladies stepping up, a lot of ladies going far, a lot of ladies getting tremendous results in what they do. 2-3 years ago, I was in America, and I listened to a Kenyan lady. She's a very prominent Kenya OAP, online media personality. And then she and a few of her friends, you know, they went out to dinner, and they're at a very expensive restaurant. And they were talking and chatting and discussing deals and talking business and plans and all that. An elderly woman was close by them. And the elderly woman, after listening to them for a while, came over to the table and said, young ladies, I celebrate you. I appreciate you. I've listened to you. I've dropped what you're saying, if you don't mind. And I'm very excited. At your age, you've gone so far, and you're still dreaming of going further. Then she said, but my only question is, I didn't hear you talking about marriage. You know, you're talking about business, you're talking about deals, you're talking about progress, but you're not talking about marriage. So she said, why? And the lady, this online media personality, said, I looked at her in the face and I said, Mama, did you develop a man for people like me to marry? That got me thinking. It got me thinking that in almost every house, parents, mothers, fathers are preparing their daughters for marriage. You hear your mom say, if you break that plate, especially in an African home, it is the things you're meant to take to your husband's house, that's what you're destroying. Your mom will wake you up. You can't be sleeping at this time. When you go to your husband's house, is this how you're going to be sleeping late? You see the mom say, look at the food you cook. Too much salt. Is how you be cooking for your husband. But unfortunately, it's not the same with guys. Parents are not talking to guys about preparing them for the future and preparing them for marriage. It looks as if the thing is lopsided. It's all talks about the lady going to her husband's house. It's all talk about the lady getting married. It's all talks about the lady going far. There is no talk about the guy um, being prepared for marriage and being prepared for the future. And to make it worse, so guys don't say preparation has anything to do with them. If you come for a meeting for men, it's women that will register. If you write a book for men, it's women that will buy it. I did a meeting with my son, Pastor Kingsley Okonkwo, last month or 2 months ago now. And one of the things he was talking about was planning to do a meeting for men. And he was telling them to register. I think it's 5,000 or less than that. And it took a lot of push to get men to register. If it is ladies, it doesn't take much. They are there. Somebody said almost all the problem ladies have has to do with men. Surprisingly, it's a lot of joke, but yet it looks real. Said all the problem of ladies has to do with men. For example, the societal men is as men in it, men is. Then when they're young, they start to have menstrual pain, and it has men in it, menstrual. And if care is not taken, if they're in the hot region, they can have meningitis, which also has men in it. And then they start to have menstruation, that's men in it. And then when they grow old, they have menopause, which also has men in it. And then they start to have men problems, which is menage, which also has men in it. And only God will save them from mental problems, which also has men in it. So, I mean, it seems as if men seems to have been the problem for a long time. But I will be glad to tell you that men might be the problem, but men are also the solution if men can get it right. God has a reason from making men to be the head of the house, to be the leader of the house. That is a reason why God does that. So let me start. I'm going to speak for about 20 minutes from now. And when I'm done speaking, about 20 minutes, I will say if I can answer all the questions from both men and women. So if you have any question about anything, get ready. When it is time, you chat it into the chat room, and I'll pick it up and answer it. So I'd love to talk about the three levels where manhood is concerned. I call it a manhood progression. Number one, you're a male by chance. You didn't choose yourself to be male. I find it very amusing when people are proud because they are male. No, you can't be proud because you're male, because it wasn't like you wrote an exam. It wasn't like you went to school. It wasn't like you applied and you were taken. No, it was when your mom gave birth to you, the nurse shouted, it's a boy, and everybody rejoiced, or it's a girl, and everybody rejoiced. So it's not your choice to be male, so you can't be proud of it. The Bible says we cannot be proud of our salvation because it's a gift of God. That's why you can be proud that you are male. It is God that made you a male. So you just woke up, high school, you're a male by chance. Genesis 5:2 confirmed that. Genesis 5:2 said, male and female created he them and call their name Adam. So male and female. It didn't create us man and woman. It didn't create us bull and bay. It didn't create us ladies and gentlemen. He created us male and female. But Genesis chapter 2 verse 24 said, for this cause shall a man. Whoa, that's the progression. So we were created male and female, but for you to marry, you must have progressed to become a man. Male should not marry, only man should marry. That is why I'm saying that it takes maturity. Before you start looking, I've been doing a series every Sunday, Nigerian time for 3 p.m. and every Tuesday, Nigerian time for 6 p.m. on how to find and keep the love of your life. And one of the things I've been saying in the series
two other teenage girls.
This is a real gymnasium? Yeah, normal people call it a gym. Do they? Who's that? Some kid we're babysitting. I'm a boy.
Okay, I hope everybody can hear me now. Sorry, there was quite some noise coming earlier on. Okay, so you're a male by chance. You must progress to become a man by choice. Male and female created in them, but for this cause shall a man leave his father and his mother and cleave to his wife. So the progression is you move from male, you move to become a man, but that is not even the end of the day. So you must become a gentleman. So the manhood progression is you're a male by chance, you become a man by choice, then you become a gentleman by culture. Let me say that again. You are a male by chance. You just woke up and discovered God that made you a male. It was the nurse that announced your parent is a boy. All this kind show you're a male. You didn't know you're a male. You didn't plan to be a male. You didn't sign up to be a male. You didn't pass exam to be a male. You can't be proud that you're a male because it's just a gift of God. So you're a male by chance. Then you are made to become a man by choice. You've got to choose that. You've got to choose responsibility. The difference between a male and a man is maturity. Maturity is the ability to delay gratification. So you've got to become a man. It's not beard that makes a male to become a man. If it is beard, every goat will be a man because every goat has full requirement of beard. It's not money that makes a male to become a man because there are so many rich fools. So what makes a male to become a man is maturity. So you must progress from male. And that's why Genesis 5:2 says, male and female created in them. Genesis 2:24 says, for this cause shall a man. So before you think of marriage, you must have moved from being a male to becoming a man. But don't end up becoming a man, become a gentleman. You become a gentleman by culture. You learn to be a gentleman. It does not matter if you're not cultured like that by your dad. Maybe your dad was not a gentleman or your uncle was not a gentleman. I've always loved to say that one of the greatest tragedy of a generation is that we are trying to become something that we have never seen. Let me say that again. We are trying to become something that we have never seen. Unfortunately, for this generation, a lot of people, guys, have never, and I mean never seen a gentleman before. Maybe their dad is not one. Maybe their uncle is not one. Maybe their neighbor is not one. Sometimes even maybe their pastor is not one. So how do you solve an equation when there is no example? How do you become what you have never seen? That is the dilemma of this generation. But you can learn the culture. You can learn to be a gentleman. The way you talk, the way you act, the way you respond, the way you do things. You can learn. It's a culture. And you can learn it. So you're a male by chance, you become a male by choice, but you're meant to become a gentleman by culture. One of the problems of this world is that whatever God brings, the devil tried to mess up. That's the thing. God gave us prosperity. The devil is teaching materialism. Materialism means that where the car is drive. No. That does not make you to be prosperous. You know, materialism is not prosperity. Prosperity is an extension of God's kingdom through you with wealth. Materialism is self-aggrandizement. I want to get, for example, Rockefeller was very prosperous. He said, my ambition in life is to make all I can, to keep as much as I can, and to give it all the way at the end of the day. Unfortunately, people are attacking prosperity now, but prosperity is not what they should attack. Materialism is what they should attack. Materialism is when you think your essence exhibits from what you drive, what you own, where you live, and where you go. So that's very important. So God gave us leadership, the devil turned it to dictatorship. God gave us love, the devil is turning it to lust. Somebody asked me, what's the difference between love and lust? I said, lust is the desire to be pleasured by somebody. Love is the desire to pleasure somebody. Let me say that again. Lust is the desire to be pleasured. Love is the desire to pleasure. So God gave us love, the devil gave us lust. The same way, God himself gave us matured men, but the devil is trying to give us mature men. The devil is trying to make us feel as if the most important thing is to be mature. So a lot of men are in the gym, a lot of men are building six packs instead of building character. I'm not saying six packs is bad. Don't be deceived. Six packs is very, very good. But like I jokingly said, there is no African lady that will see six packs and six cars and keep to six packs instead of six cars. So my brother, you better get out of the gym and go look for work. It's good to gym, but that should not be the whole essence of it. So the essence of the world now when it comes to manhood is more of macho men rather than matured men. Then but God gave us fruitful men. The world is exhibiting funky men. That is very interesting. You see, fruitful men is what God is exhibiting, not funky men. Liberty, not libido, is what counts with God. Can I say that again? Liberty and not libido is what counts with God. And that is very, very important. So the thing about the world is that everywhere looking for real men. We have been looking, somebody said the most difficult thing to find in this generation are real men, are not made in China men, are original men, are men that you can be proud of, are men that are real men. And he put it this way. So there are, I mean, even God himself said, I've been looking for the real man. In Ezekiel 22, verse 30, the Bible said, God said, I look in their midst for a man, and among them, and I could not find. And that surprised me. In Ezekiel 22, God was talking about 3 million people, not one, not two, 3 million people. And he said, I look in the midst of 3 million people and I could not find a man. I don't believe he didn't find the male species. He found the male species. What he could not find is a man by choice or a gentleman by culture. So I look into the midst. What I was looking for was a man and I could not find a man. So I'm wondering, is God looking into your church, looking into your sphere of influence, looking into your company, looking into your generation, looking into your family, looking for a man? Can you find a man? God said, I'm looking, I'm searching, I'm looking for a real man. God said, I look for a man in their midst and I could not find any. And these were 3 million people. It's definitely there were male genders, but I couldn't find a man that would stand in the fence. Number two, even the women are looking for real men. In John chapter 4, Jesus had an encounter with a woman by the well. What I found very exciting about that was the fact that even Jesus himself said, number one, John chapter 4, he said, we must go through Samaria. So every man must know the must of the day. You must know the must of your day. What are the things I must do? What are the things I must do? What are the things I must do? So the Bible said, just like I said, I must go through Samaria. A man that will go far must know the must of his day. What are the things you must do in a day? It's not everything that you must do. There are things you can do. There are things you can't do. Don't kill yourself. So he said, I must go through Samaria. And it's surprising that the only thing that really happened in Samaria was that woman. The only thing that really happened in Samaria was a woman that carried water to the well to go and take water. The woman had tried 5 men. None of them worked. But Jesus encountered that woman. And when Jesus had dealt with that woman, the Bible said in verse 24, the woman left her water pot. Now. She came to the water pot to fetch water. And the greater equipment needed is the water pot. But now she left her water pot, and the Bible says she ran to the men. And verse 29, she said to them, come and see a man. Oh my God. She ran to the men to say, come and see a man. So it's not only God that is looking for real men. Even, can you imagine, women are looking for real men. This woman went to the men and said, I've tried all of you. I've tried you, David. I've tried you, Peter. I've tried you, James. I've tried you, Paul. I've tried you, Nicodemus. I've tried you, Zerubbabel. You are not men. I've seen what I've been looking for. Come and see a man. So, in the midst of the male, he was trying to tell the male, I've seen a man. John chapter 4, 28 and 29. But that is not all. Number 3, not only God, according to Ezekiel 22:30, that's looking for a real man. It's only women that are looking for real men. Even other men are looking for real men. You see, in John chapter 4, verse 41, the Bible said, the men said to this lady, 41 and 42 of John chapter 4, they said, listen, oh, we came because of what you said, but we stayed. Because even we ourselves, we saw the epitome, we saw the dignity, we saw the value of a real man. So I believe very strongly that the greatest thing men need is that model. I want to say it again. The greatest thing men need is model. You know, I said it earlier on, that a lot of male are trying to be a good man, but they've never seen a good man before. So they don't even know what they're trying to be. And you see, mentorship is modeling. That is why I love what Pastor Tony is doing, calling mentoring. That is we mentoring together to something great and powerful. We are men turning together. So we need a model. We need a picture of a real man, one man. We really need to know what we're looking for. So it's when we know it that we can reproduce it. So I'm challenging you men. You need a mentor in your life. You need a mentor. If you find a mentor in your father, good. But if it's not your father, then God, you see, let me tell you something you made. Somebody said, I was in South Africa. And the lady came to me and started crying. You don't understand what I've been trying. Don't even know my father. I never knew my father. You know what I told her? I said, don't bother yourself. She said, how can you say that? I said, because motherhood is a fact. Fatherhood is by faith. Let me say that again. Motherhood is a fact, but fatherhood is by faith. Let me explain that to you. Motherhood is real because there were midwives. There are people in the room that can testify that this woman gave birth to this baby. But that your father is your father. There were no witnesses. You have only to believe your mother, or when you grow up, you believe DNA. But outside that, just believe. So I'm saying that even if your father is not responsible, look for another father. Because the one you have already now is just by faith that is your father. Now, I'll tell you a funny statistics, but they said it's true. They said the country with the highest number of children living in a home where the dad or the mom is, where the dad is not their dad in the world. They say Nigeria. So many people living in a house saying, my daddy, they're not even sure if it's their daddy. I'm saying look for a mentor. Look for a mentor because God said, I'm looking for a man. He's eager to 2:30, I can't find. The Bible said that woman said in John chapter 4, verse 28 and 29, she went to the man and said, come and see a real man. But the Bible now said, verse 41 and 42, that the men themselves told her, yeah, we came because of what you said, but that's not why we stay. The reason why we stay is because of what we see, and that is very important. Can men see the real man in you? Can men look at you and see the image of a father and see? You see, the greatest tribute for a man is for your children to say, when I saw you, I saw God in you. Somebody put it like this. He said, if you never saw God in your father, it's actually difficult to see God as a father. Oh my God. Let me say that again. If you never saw God as a father, it's difficult to see. If you never saw God in your father, it's difficult to see God as a father. Somebody might need to tag that from in the chat room for other men to see. If you never saw God in your father, it's difficult to see God as a father. So it's very important for us to really be able to say, my children will see God in me. Because when you see God in your father, then seeing God as a father becomes much more easier. I'm going to start to round up. There are three things you may owe yourself, your family, and you owe the nation. I put it this way. There are three things you owe your relations, which includes your immediate family, that you owe your nation, that you owe your generation. Can I say that again? Three things you owe relation, you owe generation, and you owe your relation, nation, generation, and even your congregation. So four, you know these four people, these three things. Number one, you owe us longevity. What do I mean by longevity? Longevity means you owe us to live long. I'm going to shock you now. I'm going to shock you. The rate at which men are dying compared to women is enormous. Let me prove it to you. How many widows do you know? Think about it. How many widows do you know? Several. How many widowers do you know? Few. Did that sink in? How many widows do you know? Many. How many widowers do you know? Few. Who is a widow? A widow is somebody that has lost her husband. Who is a widower? A widow is somebody that has lost his wife. So many women have lost their husband. You owe it to your relation, to your generation, to your nation, to your congregation to live long. Many a times men die at their most productive time. Why? Sometimes because we don't take care of ourselves. You can see more men smoke, more men drink than women. Sometimes women talk. When they talk, they release the pressure. Men don't talk. They keep it in. Women cry. When they cry, they release the emotion. Men don't cry. So they die of heart attack and hypertension. You owe it to us to live long. One of the things TJ asked me when we were to get married, she said, promise me you will live long. Wow. What a promise. That's one of the reasons why every year I do my vitals. I go do my medical checkup. If you're 40 and above, you need to do that constantly. I do it. I do it. I'm in Ontario, Canada right now. I still went to the hospital just to do my blood work. Yeah, I still did that last week. Yeah, this week. It's still Saturday today, this week. Just to do my blood work, check everything, check my sugar level, check my this, check my that, check my that. Not because of unbelief, but because I need to live long. So yours longevity. You see, if you don't live long, initially people will be there for your wife and your children, but nobody can take care of them like you do. So I'm appealing to all men, all you men that take 10 bottles of Coke in a week. All you men that if they want you to submit the number of Coke you are taking this year alone, 3 trucks will come out of your tummy. Zoom, 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 zoom. I'm begging you men that don't maintain good sleeping habits, that don't sleep well enough. You see, I've come to a conclusion. It's better for us to do the work longer but surer than faster and die young. It's better. I've come to a conclusion. If you live long, you'll be able to do more. That you do everything giddy, 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 and you now die early. So number one thing as men, that you owe your relation, you owe your nation, you owe your generation, you owe your congregation, you owe longevity. You must make up your mind to live long, because if you don't live long, your children will suffer, your wife will suffer, your nation will suffer, because the contribution you're meant to make, you won't be able to make it. Your congregation will suffer, your generation will suffer. Number two, you owe us productivity. You owe your relation, your nation, your generation, your congregation productivity. It's very sad. For the first time in the history of the world, we have men now living more, depending more on their wife than ever before. It's the most stupid thing I have ever seen. You see, God gave man work before he gave him wife for a reason. When God gave man, when man woke up, the first thing he saw was work. When woman woke up, the first thing woman saw was relationship. So we are meant to be wired differently. I am surprised that there are men today that their wife is more productive than them. Yeah, there might be circumstances that lead today, but struggle, fight your way out of it. A man can be out of job, but you can never be out of work. And the Bible said, "Do not labor, there is profit." Go and volunteer in church, volunteer in the community, do something productive. I see men now tie 12 noon. Who cost us? It's not only longevity. If you're going to live long and you're not productive, then die early. Yeah. Then die early. If you're going to live long, and not be productive, then die early. We need you to be productive. God say, "I will bless the work of your hand," not the job. So if you can't get the job you want, please just work. God blesses work. You're a graduate. Nobody eats certificate. Nobody eats certificate. You're a graduate. Go and look for something doing. Go and let your hand be fruitful. Some young men now prey on rich ladies, rich single ladies. That's who they prey on to marry. Not because they love them, but because they're a meal ticket. Who cost us? Men, productivity must be part of you. I was telling somebody this afternoon that I'm as busy now in the lockdown than I was before the lockdown. I do broadcasts like this, like an average of twice a day. I prepare for it. I pray about it. I'm trying to write a book. I'm trying to run our organization. I lead at least 7 organizations, from Triumphant Publishing House to What the Place Media to What the Place Academy to What the Place Mission International itself, not talk of the Triumphant Assembly Churches and Triumphant Nation that we're trying to pioneer, and the cathedral, and I'm still running all that. You are a man. You are created by God to be the head. You can be productive. Finally, purity. You owe your relation. You owe your generation. You owe the nation. You owe congregations purity. It's a great challenge for men to be pure. Great one. In fact, especially in our culture, where men sleeping around is seen not as a problem. I was reading on a key politician, one of my friends, one of the top people in our nation, put on our WhatsApp status, a woman, that for you to leave your husband because of adultery is stupid, because every man is an adulterer. Can you, when we say things like that, we are encouraging men that it's okay. Purity is key. Of course, Proverbs chapter 19, 17 and 18 says, stolen water is sweet. Yes, it's sweet. And this is Solomon speaking. Solomon with 700 wives and 300 concubines. So stolen water here is talking about illicit sex. Yeah, that's what he was talking about. He said illicit sex is sweet. And I tell you sincerely, it's sweet. He said bread eaten in secret is the best. He said, but look, death is there. Why kill your dreams? Why kill your anointing? Why catch HIV and die and give it to your wife? And both of you die and your children suffer. That same Solomon said, not only is death there, he said that is the highway to hell. So, somebody said to me, but Reverend, you don't understand. Maybe my wife does not give me enough sex, or Reverend, my wife is troublesome. That this other lady that's been begging me. You know, in Hebrews 11:25, the Bible spoke about Moses. That Moses chose to suffer affliction than to enjoy the pleasure of sin for a season. Did you hear me say that? Oh, yeah, that was it. He said Moses even chose that. Look, I'd rather suffer affliction than enjoy the pleasure. So, which means sin as pleasure, but it's only for a season, never lasts. So, what do I need to do, Reverend? Start with your eyes, what you watch. Men watch pornography. Have you noticed that women don't watch pornography much? Have you noticed that all those newspapers, it's a nude girl that is there? You won't see a nude guy there. When, as we're talking now, if a lady comes here and start to undress, all men, we focus camera on her, not me. But when a guy starts to undress, all the women will quickly log out. Why? Because the devil knows that if I can get men's attention through their eyes, I can destroy them. If I can get men through their eyes, that is why in Lamentations chapter 3, verse 51, some of Lamentations of Jeremiah said, my eyes is what affected my heart because of the daughters of my city. So if you live in a city like Lagos, extra grace is required. You know, EGR, extra grace required. He said, what makes he says my eyes affected my heart because of these girls in my city. In Job 31 verse 7, Job said, I made a covenant with my eyes. I won't think upon a maid. I think I should round up here. So many things, so I can continue, but I think I should round up. So if you have any question, please put your question up. I'll be ready to answer your questions. Put your question up. I'll be ready to answer your questions. Because I think we have less than 20 minutes more. Beautiful question. How can we grow from being males to becoming a man? Beautiful. Number one, get the picture of what it's the same thing. The same process from transitioning between male to man. It's also the same process you follow from male to gentleman. Because I love the way somebody said, so whatever brought you this far is what will take you further. So there are three things you need to do. Number one, have the picture of where you're going. If you don't know where you're going, everywhere will look like it. Do you even know what a man is? Do you know what a gentleman is? You need to know. That is the first thing. Create a perfect picture of a man. A man is not somebody, you see, that's the problem. Some people believe a real man is somebody that's lived with many girls. Libido, not liberty. That's not a man. You know, they used to advertise cigarette like a man is somebody that can smoke cigarette. That's not a man. Because you don't have liberty with cigarettes, you don't have liberty with sleeping around. So a real man is not about libido. A real man is about the ability to even say no. I've seen a girl say to a boy, say, if you don't sleep with me, that means you're not a real man. But the guy said, no, if I sleep with you, that means that I'm a fool. A real man can say no. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So number one, know the picture of the future that you're looking for. Number two, get a mentor. Mentoring can never be overemphasized. Get somebody that typifies what you're looking for. When I saw Reverend Victor as a young man, I went back home. I told my dad, I said, I'm changing my church. I'm not following you to a church again. I'm going to this man's church. My dad said, why? I said, because it's a picture of my future. I see a young man, very handsome, pastoring a great church, following his purpose, full of passion, full of life. So you need a mentor. Number 3, study, study, study. Let me explain this to you. The word ignorance is one of the most truest thing, ignorance. Ignorance means you have to ignore, because there can't be ignorance if you don't ignore. Ignorance means you ignore. So you have to ignore to be ignorant. So ignorance means you ignore. I'm trying to say to you that you can't be ignorant in this generation. With God and Google, everything is at your fingertips. So those are the 3 things you do. Number 1, you see a picture we are looking for. Number 2, you seek a mentor. And number 3, you study. Those are the 3 ways to do it. Yes, any other question?
Okay, so thank you so much, sir. I want to ask, how do we get men to see self-development as a priority? Because for me, I think that majority of the people, men who don't commit to personal development, is because they don't find it as a priority, because everyone creates time for what they think it's valuable to them. So how do we get men to see self-development, capacity building as a priority?
Beautiful. You see, you need capacity building, because to be all I've said, you need your capacity to be enlarged. You can do more. Too many things are depending on you. Your family is depending on you. Your relations are depending on you. Your generation is depending on you. Your nation is depending on you. If you're a man of faith, your congregation is depending on you. If you are not, even your community is depending on you. So if they're all depending on you, the more you have, the more you can give. A bucket cannot take more than its capacity. You need to enlarge your capacity. You need to do it, number 1, for yourself. Number 2, for your God. Number 3, for their dependent. So it's very important for you to take it real. But let me tell you the truth. There is no personal development, enlarged capacity without a price. If you don't pay the money, the price of money, you have to pay the price of time. You have to pay the price of data. You have to pay the price of gadget. So it's very important for you and I to know that we need to pay the price for it. One of the things I've always learned, people ask me, how do you do so much at the same time? Well, I say to them, because I keep on enlarging my capacity. You know, I keep on enlarging my capacity. I keep on enlarging it. You can keep on enlarging your capacity too. It's a choice. It's a choice. It's a choice. You can keep on enlarging your capacity. So I'm saying to you all, enlarge your capacity, because it pays. So I mean, how much you have to pay for it? Now look at me, Pastor Tunji. I went to Harvard 2015. I went to Harvard to get a certification in strategic leadership. It's not cheap. It cost me thousands of dollars. But after that, the knowledge I gained had also saved me thousands of dollars and brought me thousands of dollars from meetings where I've been able to speak on the things I learned, and had made me better. So there is no price that is too much for personal development, because it's in you. It makes a difference in your life.
Okay, thank you, sir. While we're waiting for other questions, I have about 7 questions, but I'll just take them interchangeably between the ones that are written and the ones I have. Also, I want to ask you if you want to recommend 3 major books that you have read that has brought you thus far. What books would you recommend? 3, 5 books.
Okay, number 1, the Bible. Yeah. Number 1, the Bible. The Bible. The Bible is the number 1 on the list. Number 1 bestseller forever. Since it had been written. King James Version was published 1614. It's remained the bestseller ever since. Number 1, the Bible. Number 2, I recommend Tough Times Never Last, but Tough People Do. I read it once every year, especially this time around. With all this pandemic going on in the world, every man should get that book and read. Number 3, The Richest Man in Babylon. I just read it again myself. Like I said, those are books I read every year. The Richest Man in Babylon, very, very good book, very, very dynamic good book. Number 4, Faith and Confession by Scabs is a great book for everybody to read. Number 5, I recommend The Fourth Dimension by David Yonggi Cho. Very great book. Read it early. It's helped me tremendously in my life and the ministry. There's another book by John Maxwell, Today Matters. Today Matters. Whatever you do today, establish it tomorrow for you. Number 5, I recommend a book by TJ and I still do, How to Make Love Last Forever, because if your love lasts forever, you'll be the better, you're going to be the better for it. Yeah, those are some of the ones, I mean, of the charts that I can remember that every man should read.
Okay, sir. Thank you so very much, sir. I also realized that among your peers, you seems to get a couple of things right. What did you do that helped you stand out from your peers? 1, then 2, what's your advice of people who feel that they are behind? Maybe something maybe they had set goals to be at location B, for example, by 2012, but here they are. They're still way off where they intended to be from the beginning. I mean, so what can you advise men that needs to catch up with their destiny, with their life to do? And what did you do to make you stand out of the generation?
Thank you. The first thing I'll say is that God's grace helped me to stand out in my generation. Number 2, getting a good mentor. Number 3, studying very well. Number 4, putting my purpose above my pleasure. You see, that is the thing. A lot of people want to be where I am, and they want to even be further than where I am, but they're not ready to pay the price. You have to pay the price for purpose. The price is not cheap. It's very, very expensive. You have to do without a lot of things you can do with. I could be with my family right now. I would have loved to be with my family. A lot of people thought I got locked down here. No, I'm here deliberately. We are planting a church. I had a choice. When they wanted to do lockdown, should I escape now so I can be with my wife and children? Or should I stay to fulfill purpose based on what I believe God is leading us to do next as Triumphant Nation? I choose to go with God. It's not a joke. There is a lot of price you've got to pay, but that price is worth it. So those are the things I'm going to say. So if you are behind, what do? The same thing you do if you are meant to go to Lagos and you find yourself in Ibadan. Number 1, you need to reaffirm the reason why you need to go to Lagos. That is what I love about David. David killing Goliath was not, it didn't just happen. David asked a question. What will be done for the man that killed this Goliath? You need to know, why do I want to get there, right? If it's because of competition, it won't work. Because you see, we are not meant to be competitors, we are meant to be complementors. So it shouldn't be because you want to compete with nobody. You just can say, why do I want to be big? Why do I want to be an influencer? Why do I want people to follow me on Facebook? Number 2, you need to re-strategize. You need to look at yourself. How come I'm here? How come they left me behind? That is why I love the way the African proverb by the Yoruba said, this is when a young boy falls down, he looks forward. When the elderly falls down, he looks back. I used to wonder, but why? Then I discover why. When the young man falls down, he looks forward to the young man, he has time. When the elderly man falls down, he looks back. He wants to know what made me fall, because I cannot afford another fall at my age. So I'm trying to say that, why are you behind? Find out why. Maybe you are like a desker. Maybe you didn't take some things you should take serious. Maybe you didn't have a good mentor. Maybe you didn't have a good role model. Maybe you didn't have the passion. Maybe you didn't have the drive. You need to sit down and find out, why am I behind? So once you discover those ones, it will help. Then you still need a mentor. You still need to pray. You will still need to navigate your way. So, for example, what I'm trying to say is that you are not able to change the destination overnight, but you can change the direction overnight. One of the greatest lies we have been told is that we're going to the future. We're going to the future. But the future is not a place we're going to. The future is a place we create. Let me say that again. The future is not a place we're going to. The future is a place we create. And John Maxwell said, if you don't create the future you want, you have to endure the future you get.
Okay, sir. Thank you so very much. I think I saw a question in the comment section. Someone is asking, how do I know who to choose as a mentor?
Beautiful. The major thing, sorry, I got interrupted. The major thing is for you to ask yourself, who is the picture of my future? Where's the picture of my future? I told you about Reverend Victor when I saw him, I saw the picture of my future. Pastor Kingsley Okonkwo said, when he heard me speak on relationship, he saw the picture of his future. All of a sudden, he knew what he had to do with himself the rest of his life. So, where's the picture of your future? But there are three things that makes a mentor to stand out. Number one, your mentor must know the way. Number two, your mentor must be walking the way. Number three, your mentor must be able to show you the way. Let me say that again. Number one, your mentor must be somebody that knows the way. Why follow somebody that does not know what he's doing or does not know where he's taking you? So number one, you must know the way. Number two, you must be walking the way. In this generation, we have too many talkers, very few walkers. Don't follow somebody for talking. So when the person has finished saying beautiful things, I have friends that when they talk to you about money, oh my God, you will think that they are rich until you see that they didn't even bring a car, they brought a car. So don't follow somebody that is just talking. Don't follow talkers, follow workers. Do they have something to show for what they have been talking to you about? So number one, the person must know the way, must be walking the way. Finally, must be ready to show you the way. I've met people in my life that knows the way. I've met people that are walking the way, but they don't want to show nobody. So make sure those three is together in choosing who your mentor should be.
Okay, sir. Also, I want to ask, I can't find any question yet. While we wait for the questions, there's been a high rise of dysfunctional homes. I've been a very, one of my very wonderful, highly placed friends, we were talking recently, and he was saying, TJ, when all of us will be getting ready in another 10 years, we'll be taking our daughters to Malta. He said he sat down and asked himself, what are the things that I would frown at when my daughter brings a man home? And amazingly, he said, anybody from a dysfunctional home is a no-no for me. Almost everyone chorused it to say, those dysfunctional, whether male or female, they're always often very trouble, always often not submissive, always often don't even understand where life is. Yes, it's not their fault that they're where they are, but what can one do if you find yourself in a dysfunctional home? What can be done to help, number one, someone who is in love with someone from a dysfunctional home? Number two, to help someone who is from a dysfunctional home and wants to love?
Beautiful. Pastor Tunji, thank you. Beautiful question. When I was younger, my mom saw ahead of our generation. When I was younger, my mom was asking us boys, she has 4 boys, but 3 of us were just 2 years apart. The last one was born much later, 7 years later. She asked us a question one day and said, so you people, tell me, who are you bringing home to me? And then she turned to me particularly and said, it is you that I'm not even sure of. You can bring Hausa, you can bring Oyibo. So I want you to know who I don't want now. She said, I don't care where they come from culturally. I don't care their qualification, but I don't want anybody from a divorced, dysfunctional home. I was annoyed. I said, if you have said any other thing, maybe I would have been cool. That is not fair. It's not their fault, blah, blah, blah. But the older I grow, the more it's always told me what she has said. Unfortunately so. It's not their fault. But I look back, I've pastored about 30 years. The people that have given me the greatest problem are people from dysfunctional home. Especially people that didn't grow up under a responsible father. When you tell them to sit down, they are not used to it. When you tell them don't say that, they are not used to it. So it becomes a major, major issue, a major, major problem. But if you're in that situation, what should you do? Beautiful. So hear me what you should do. Number one thing you should do. There was a guy in prison in America, crazy guy. Keeps on, when they release him, he goes back to jail, commits so many crimes and all that. So one day somebody asked him, why are you always like this? He said, you don't know who my father is. You know who my father is, you will not have tried. You know who else my father is, you will know. Same me and my twin brother. When we were born, our father was not even there. Our father was a drunkard. Our mother died because our father refused to pay our hospital bill, use the money to drink. But all the counselor had was twin brother. So the counselor said, where's your twin brother? He said, I don't know, maybe he's dead. Then the counselor started looking for the twin brother. All across prison in America, couldn't find him. All across records of death, couldn't find him. Where is this twin brother? Invariably found the twin brother. You know where he found the twin brother? He was a mayor in a city. in America. Wow. The counselor went to see the brother. I said, did you become a mayor? The mayor said, you don't know my father. If you now tell who my father was, you will not have no option but to move on and become what I become today. Can you imagine? One is a mayor. Sorry about the interruption. Some calls are trying to come in. So one is a mayor. The other one is a prisoner. And both of them have the same excuse, my father. So my key thing is this. It does not matter your background. It's not a reason why your back should be on the ground. Like I said earlier on. So if you have a dysfunctional background, what should you do? So the same thing I've said, number one, find a picture of your future yourself. Find somebody that identifies that, follow that person. It won't be easy because you are not used to being led. It won't be easy because you are not used to being directed, but follow that person. It will help you a great deal. And ladies, if you find somebody from a dysfunctional home, please look well. Have they changed? Are they still a reflection of their background? If they have, please run, because it's very important.
Thank you so very much, sir. I think I found another question right here. So I will just read the question. Okay. I thought I saw a question earlier on. Okay, so while I still have about 4 other questions, so I think I'll just take the question one after the other. Okay, so another question I have for you, sir, is, so a couple of times you had mentioned the fact that mommies, certain, we've been talking about, yes, the functional home, often because the male figure is not available, and men tilt towards the female, the mother in the house who looks like someone doing the dual parenting. So, and like you usually say during your teachings on relationship, be careful of mommy. If we have a lot of absentee fathers and the men are forced to tilt towards their mothers, how does those kind of men find a balance? Especially, I realize from single parents have tendencies to indulge their male child. Okay, so for anyone who's been a victim of that kind of an environment, how best can they unlearn certain things that was communicated to them unconsciously that has become a part of their life now?
It's both ways. Even for ladies, unfortunately, most ladies, all they know about men, they learn from their mom. And your mom can't teach you about men. Your mom will only teach you about the men she had encountered, the men in her life. That was the problem with the woman at the well. She said, I've tried 5 men, but those are the men she has tried. Those are the men she knew. There is more to men than what she had seen. But a lot of ladies don't understand that. A lot of ladies don't know that. They say all men has come. No, it is the men you know that has come. It is the men you have mingled with that has come. Not all men has come. You are talking from a biased perspective of what you have experienced and what you have encountered. So, having said that, this is what I'm going to say. If you are like that, same solution to the same situation, you are tied to your mom. All you know about being a man, you learn from your mom. But always remember, your mom is not a man. So you need another man in your life that will point you into the right direction. You need to overstudy. You need to study more than I study, for example, because I have the advantage of a good natural father, a very good spiritual father. Fathers actually are mentors. You don't have that. So you need to start with a good spiritual mentor, extra good one, and a lot of study for you to catch up. If you're a lady also, the same thing. Because all you know about men, you learn from your mom. Your mom cannot be an encyclopedia on men. Your mom only knows the men she had met, and the men she had met might not be the man you will meet. So the same way, number one, get a very, very good mentor that is male, that will not be abusive, that will show you exactly what a man should be like. That's very important.
Thank you, sir. So I have 2 other questions in the comment section. Someone says, how to correct the mistakes of the past so that I can achieve the goals of the future?
Number one thing you need to learn is that your past is behind. Learn from it and move on. Failure is not a failure if you learn from it. What makes failure looks permanent is that we don't learn from it. Failure is not failure if you learn from it. Failure is not failure if you learn from it. So you need to learn from failure and then move on. God put your eyes in front of your head, not at the back of your head, so you can be forward looking and not backward looking. Don't spend all your time over the past. Move on. Change what you can change, but move into a new horizon. The reason why God divided time into days and days into weeks and weeks into months and months into years is that what you can get on today or this week or this month, you can always do it tomorrow or next week or next month or next year. So don't die over the mistakes of the past. Let it go. Let it be buried under the blood of Jesus. Forgive yourself. Forgive everybody involved and move on. That would be my advice.
Thank you, sir. There's another one here. It says, having known what has hindered a man to succeed in life, yet struggle to fight against those things, what would be your advice for such a person, sir?
3 things. Number 1, pray about it. Pray about it. Many times what we can do in our natural strength, God can give us supernatural power to do it. So pray about it. Spend good quality time in praying about it. Number 2, which I also believe is very, very important, is get an accountability partner. You see, many times, if we have somebody that we ask you, so have you smoked today? Did you smoke this week? It helps because you have somebody to be accountable to. That helps. Number 3, make up your mind to change it and reward yourself every time. So, for example, if it's drinking, celebrate your 1 week of not drinking, 1 month of not drinking, reward yourself. It's been discovered by Alcoholics Anonymous, and it works for every other habit because all truths are parallel. Now, when you do things like that, it helps you tremendously to overcome them.
Awesome. Still trying to get more questions from people, but I would ask this last one before we allow you to go. So I realized that a lot of times men, one of the reasons why men, number 1, don't admit that they need help, because Pastor Harry did an amazing job last week discussing about the fact that you need to accept that you need help. What are the challenges of insecurity, or what can insecurity and ego that an average man has? What can insecurity and ego do to the progress of a man?
It's very sad that insecurity and ego is the same thing. What do I mean by that? There is nothing called superiority complex. Every superiority complex is a reflection of inferiority complex. Superior people don't flaunt it. Superior people try to blend in. They don't even try to stand out. So there is nothing really called superiority complex or too much ego. It's still an exhibit of inferiority complex, or what some people call the small man mindset that makes you to feel like that. And it's destructive. Number 1, it will make people that should help you to help you. Number 3, it will make you see that you have a problem you need to solve. Number 3, it's repulsive. It will move your helpers far away from you. So what should you do? And somebody said to me, how do I know if I have an ego insecurity problem? You know, you will know it's by little things you know. For example, I jokingly say, how do I know if my mouth is spending? When nobody will tell me, you will know. Number 1, if whenever you carry a small baby, the baby starts to cry once you open your mouth. If every time there is an argument and you open your mouth, everybody keeps quiet and you win every argument, you should know that you're not that intelligent. Your mouth is likely to be smelling. If all the gifts you get for Christmas and birthdays are clean, there are people are trying to tell you something. The same way you will know if you have inferiority complex or you have ego. You will know by these few things. Number 1, you will know. There is a Temi from Vaughan here. If you are Temi from Vaughan, get in touch with me if you are in Vaughan. Okay? All right. So number 1 way you will know if you have insecurity is the fact that you don't have a lot of helpers. Number 2, you are always fighting when people around you are doing well. When people around you are getting promoted, you are always not happy. Number 3, you have a tendency to want to control people around you. Who are you talking to? Why are you going there? What is the purpose of that? Why did you buy that? You don't tell me. Why did you blink and you did not request permission to blink? Why did you go to the toilet without me being there? When you find those traits in yourself, that is an insecurity problem exhibiting itself as ego. Another one is if you have to establish yourself from the place of position, not the place of performance. If you have to say, hey, I'm your wife, hey, I'm the head of this house. If you have to say you are the head of this house, you have already lost the headship, because my head does not need to remind my body that it's the head. So that's how to know, that's what to do.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. There are a few other questions here. So someone is asking if you have someone from dysfunctional background and you are in a situation where you have to be together with that person, how do you handle such person? How do you help that kind of a person?
Well, it depends on who the person is. TJ and I, we look back into our marriage and we discover that it looks as if that's one of our calling. It's a calling we don't want. But it looks like one of our calling is to help dysfunctional people. We can't explain it, but just because we're attracting a lot of dysfunctional people, then afterwards, after we have labored tired, they will say, God sent you to help me. But you see, before then, it's a lot of battle. So we look back, we're like, okay, maybe it's part of our calling we have to accept. So from mentoring position, it is easier, but it will be more of them than us. We will be willing to help them, will be willing to respond. But if it's a friend, if it's a partner, I'm telling you sincerely, if you can't change anybody, it's only that people can change because they love you. So don't marry a dysfunctional person thinking I'll change you. No, you can't change them. They will change if they love you. So the onus is on them. It's not on you. So if you have to live with a dysfunctional person or marry a dysfunctional person, make sure you are going to live with somebody that is working towards change. Not somebody that can't even say anything wrong in what he's doing because he has not seen better, he has seen better, is rejecting better, and not following better. That's very important.
Thank you, sir. When you were talking about that, I had to laugh because it looks like the calling has something to do. Thank you, sir. Okay, so there's this other
in life and ministry, everybody must learn to study pattern. If you start to see a pattern occurring consistently, it's either you fight about it or you embrace it. So if it's a wrong pattern, you fight it. But after a while, if you look at it very closely, you see this seems to be a calling, then you embrace it. So when you look at pattern, you can trace it. The devil works with patterns, God works with patterns.
I remember one of the there was sorry, someone was trying to call in.
Yeah.
Okay. There was a time I came to speak to you in Ibadan about some of the pressing challenges I needed to deal with. And you said something very, very funny I'll never forget. So I'd complain about patterns of certain people coming around. And you said there's one prayer that for me will not be answered. And that's the prayer of God will not deliver me from strange children. You know, so
yeah, there's nothing you can do about them. It's part of the calling.
All right. So someone is asking, what do you do to him? How do you help a man that does not have zeal? Is not enthusiastic about anything, is laid back, and he doesn't seem to push to be all that God has designed him to be?
It's a very critical situation right now for Sotunji. Very critical. A lot of men are just laid back. I think it's an attack of the devil. Number one is that I'm actually working more with younger generation than people that are married. I'm telling younger generation, don't marry any man like that. Because one of the problems I've discovered is that a lot of women marry a man that is laid back. They are now complaining, trying to change him. You can't change a man once it's already laid back. So one of the things you've got to do is before you marry a man, see his drive is very important. Number two, it's difficult for you to be the one pushing him because after a while, the man will say you are nagging him. So what I'm going to advise you to do is number one, help him to change his circle. Get him around a circle of people that are passionate, people that are moving forward, people that are running things, using that slang, people that are very excited about life and moving forward. Number two is like it, move him also around a mentor. Because many a times, like I kept on saying, it's difficult for it to be you. He will start saying, yeah, you are too bossy. You are just pushing me. What's your role? If you don't like me like this, why do you marry me? And all that. So get him around very, very wonderful people that are moving forward. Get him around a good mentor. And finally, pray. You need to pray for such a guy, I tell you.
Thank you, sir. I'm not sure if there's any other person that have another question. I mean, because as I sit here, questions are just rolling in my mind from experiences. Okay, so while we wait for other ones, there's this other one I would like you to answer, sir. So for a man who seemingly finds it difficult to forgive, hurts deep, I mean, very deep, and finds it very difficult to forgive his wife, find it difficult to forgive anyone around him. What do you advise for that kind of a man?
Unfortunately, for people that find it difficult to forgive other people, it's because they find it difficult to forgive themselves also. Unfortunately so. So it's not a good sign, it's a terrible sign, because it's forgiveness that makes a future possible. A good marriage is a marriage of two good forgivers. Love covers a multitude of sins, which means that wherever there is love, there must have a multitude of sins that does not look like sins because they love one another to cover it. There are three things I advise people to do when it's difficult to forgive somebody you have to forgive. Number one, start to pray for that person every day. Yes, pray and bless them. Pray and bless them. When you start, the kind of prayer you want to pray is, God, don't let them be able to go to the toilet. God, puncture their tummy. God, remove the tire of their car. But don't yield to that temptation. Start to pray that God increase them, God enlarge them. Yeah, David was praying for his enemy one time. He said, God, remove their teeth with stone, you know. And somebody said that's the prayer he's been praying for his own enemies, that God, let all their teeth be removed, so that by their teeth we shall know them, you know. So, number one thing, you need to pray, start to pray prayer to bless them. Number two, buy them expensive gifts. Yes. You see, this is what you need to realize. Forgiveness, like love, is more of an action than a reaction. Let me say that again. Forgiveness and love is an action, not just a reaction. So what you need to do is to step out and act as if you're forgiving, even when you think you have not forgiven. But out of the action, your emotion will line up. So what I'm trying to say is that Archbishop Dawson used to say to himself, say, buddy, I'm standing up from this bed. If you don't follow me, I will leave you behind. I'm trying to say that what you've got to do, you've got to step out in action, and invariably your emotion will line up. Don't wait for your emotion to dictate the action you have to take where where forgiveness is concerned. Just obey, follow the action, pray for the person, bless the person, buy the person gifts. Number three, speak good of the person. Whenever you have to speak of the person, don't speak of the odd, don't speak of the bad, speak good of them. It will be very difficult for you to do, but keep on doing it, and it's going to be wonderful.
All right. In the absence of no other question, so Rev, we want to say a big thank you for pouring out of your heart. Someone wrote in the chat section and said, you simplify the answers with so profound and so pure wisdom. We count it a great privilege and honor to be mentored by you. Thank you for showing the way, for knowing the way, and thank you for being a trailblazer. But before we go tonight, two things. We want you to pray with us, one. But before then, I also want you to mention your social media and also the Town Foundation, so that we can glean more wisdom, especially that your series on the one you're starting next month. I think Surviving Betrayal or something.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. It's been an honor to be here. I celebrate you, Shagamowo. I see you. I see Pastor Tiwa. I see Bukola Oyekoya. I see Bode Akinwumi. Bode Akinwumi, call me when we are done today. I've been looking for you. I see all of you. Olusegun Adeniyi, I see you. Thank you, Success Abiola. Thank you, Majayi. Thank you, Tayo. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Biodu. Thank you, Givde. Thank you, Sheye. Thank you, Femi George. Thank you for Lawrence Jim. And all of you, I can't mention all the names. Let us pray. Father, thank you because you created men for the purpose. We weren't the one that created us. You are the one that created us. In fact, the psalmist was so bewildered, surprised, shocked, marooned, flabbergasted, that he said, what is man that you are mindful of him? The Son of Man that you visit him. In quality, is a little bit lower than you. Why did you do that? Father, we thank you for creating us. We thank you because we didn't make ourselves male. You are the one that made us male. There must be a purpose for that. Thank you, Lord, for all we have been through. Some good, some bad, some we don't even know. But we know that we are one that has showed us that all things work together for good because we love you. We are called according to your purpose. Father, we give you praise and we give you glory. As we continue the rest of our life, Father, let the rest of our life be the best of our life. Give us wisdom, Lord. Give us peace. Give us grace in the name of Jesus. I pray for this innovative idea, mentoring, that you will bless your son for obedience in the name of Jesus. His team will not run out. The ideas will keep on coming. I pray for the men that comes to learn that their life will be an epitome of the kingdom, that what they've learned from here will be reproduced in their life consistently without stress. So will it be in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Your meetings are Triumphant Nation meeting days.
Yeah, so I do on Instagram, Alberto Duale, every Friday for 8 p.m. Follow me right now. If you're not following me on Instagram, I have a little bit over 21,000 followers, but it's never enough. Follow me immediately. On Alberto Duale, also on Facebook, I'm there. I do 3 p.m. on Sunday. I do 6 p.m. on Tuesday. On YouTube, I have a channel on YouTube, a new one. Please follow me there. We're just building up. We have less than 400 people. But please, I need you to follow me. So whenever we place at least 2 messages every week. So whenever we place a message, you get an alert, you get a mail if you subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much, Reverend Tuya. I appreciate you. Pastor Lawrence, well, thank you. Thank you, everybody.
An honor and privilege to have you. Please do enjoy the rest of your day. I'm sure it's about afternoon in Toronto,
yes,
Canada.
It's afternoon. Yes, it's 4:21.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so do enjoy the rest of your day, sir.
Thank you.
We truly love and celebrate you.
I celebrate you. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, thank you, everyone. So we will continue next week, Sunday. Next week, Saturday, rather. The time will be 8 p.m. and will communicate to us by mail, by the different social media platforms who we're bringing on board. Please have lovely bed rest if you're in this part of the world. And if you are maybe in South Africa or anywhere you are, I'm sure you'll sure enjoy the rest of your day. God bless you.